Yo, what's good, guys? Inswain with Inswain Audio. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and to join our family. I drop tutorials and videos just like this every single day. Welcome, we missed you. Today, I'm going to show you how to export your tracks, stems, multi-tracks, whatever you want to call them, from Logic Pro to get ready for mixing. Let's go. Alright, so here I have a project pulled up. It's an instrumental. Doesn't matter what it is. You can see we got MIDI, audio files, all types of things going on. Perfect example. So if you export your track, like if you just go up to File and hit Export, one track is audio file, you're going to get the stereo bounce down of the whole project in one file. That's your stereo mix. That is not necessarily useful for if you're sending your song out to be mixed, because then it's already a mix. They need the individual tracks, right? They need, in our case, the ARP, the synth, the tag, the hi-hats. They need each of these as its own separate audio file. So how do you do that? Once again, you go up to File, Export, all tracks as audio files, or you can see the key command by default is Shift Command E. So you're going to select this, and it's going to bring up this menu. Up here, you can choose where they're going to export to. I typically personally do desktop, doesn't matter, just remember where it is. Range, this is going to be the section of the song it exports. Trim silence at file end is usually the best. What this is going to do is it's going to leave the beginning where the file is, and then when the end of the song, if it stops after the first verse, it's not going to add a bunch of silence at the end of the file, wasting space for you and the engineer. So that's typically the best. Or you could do just the cycle range, which is the loop. You can do just there, or you can do extend it to the project end so that all of the files are the same duration. Even at the end, if there's 2 minutes of silence, there's going to be 2 minutes of silence in the file. This won't have any inherent issues. It's just going to make the files bigger, which, with storage is kind of a waste. File format, WAV is typically the best, but that's just the audio format. Bit depth, it's going to choose the project settings by default, I believe. I would just leave it where you have it on your project. Down here is where we have the important section though. So you can choose to bypass your effect plugins, meaning any plugins you have, it'll bypass them when you export. So they're raw. Some engineers like them raw. Some of them want the plugins on it. If you want to be safe, you could do this once bypassing them and then do another pass without bypassing them. So you have two different versions. You'll have what's called the dry stems and the wet stems. That can be useful. Include audio tail. This is for reverbs and delays that extend beyond the section you're exporting. If you don't want it to chop them off abruptly, you can choose this. But if you have your project set up so that it already accounts for that, you don't need to worry about this. Including volume and pan automation. This can be nice if you did any of that automation, meaning left to right in the stereo field, or volume automation. It can be nice to include it. And then finally, include tempo information. You can see here we have 158 BPM. If I do that, that means there will be that data in the files. And if I send them to an engineer, if they imported them into their project, it would automatically set their project to 158, which if you do, the engineer is going to love you, trust me. So I would recommend selecting that. And then you can choose normalization settings. I don't mess with those. And you can add the results to a project browser. I don't need to do. You can also, add custom elements and tags, name them. Not necessarily important unless your engineer specifically asked for that, but most aren't. And then you would just click export and you're good to go. And then you will have each individual track as its own file. And this is known as the multi-track recording. Some people call them tracks, multi-tracks. Some people call them stems. Technically, there's a difference, but nowadays that word's used interchangeably. So if they say they need the stems or the tracks or the multi-tracks, that is how you would do it in Logic Pro. Hope that helped you. Anyways, guys, my name is Inswain with Inswain Audio. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.